of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Questions for the Premier. Premier, at yesterday's budget hearings, aviation sector representatives expressed a serious concern with your government's proposed 148% increase to the province's aviation fuel tax over the next 4 years. Marc-Andre O'Rourke, Executive Director of the National Airlines Council of Canada, collectively represents over 43,000 employees. He said that this tax increase could mean a loss of more than 2,000 jobs and 400,000 air travellers in Ontario alone. Yesterday, the Finance Minister was forced to admit that job losses would result from this fuel tax increase, so he blurted out that some airports might be exempt. He just didn't know which ones. So, Premier, Ontario can't afford more job losses. Will you defer implementing this tax increase until a full economic study is done?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, first, let me just say that the modest increase on the tax rate on aviation fuel is part of a comprehensive plan, Mr.
Order,
Speaker.
please.
And it's a plan that we put forward in our budget when we brought the budget at the beginning of May. It's the plan that we ran on in the provincial election, Mr. Speaker, and it's a plan that we have reintroduced in this budget. And it's the plan, Mr. Speaker, that has led us to a situation where two rating agencies, both S&P, Standard & Poor's, and DBRS, have not, Mr. Speaker, chosen to downgrade Ontario, have actually confirmed our outlook, Mr. Speaker. So it seems to me that if Standard & Poor's is saying Ontario's fiscal management is strong, this is part of the fiscal management plan that we put forward, so we're going to stick with it, Mr. Speaker.
Premier, the fact that your Finance Minister was unprepared to tell us yesterday who would be exempt from this tax increase just demonstrates that once again you're barreling ahead with a tax increase without considering who you're hurting. Don McDougall, Chair of the Kenora Airport Board, said that this fuel tax increase will be devastating to Kenora's small airport and give Americans cause to reconsider flying directly to Kenora. Kenora is just one of many airports and small communities across Ontario which will suffer from your actions. Premier, if you won't conduct an impact study, will you at least answer the question that your Finance Minister couldn't answer yesterday? Which Ontario airports will be exempt from the aviation fuel tax increase?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I applaud the late-breaking concern for the North from the party across the floor, Mr. Speaker, because the fact is, from the outset, we have said that small and northern airports would receive special consideration, Mr. Speaker, because we understand that there is a concern with those airports, because we actually care deeply about what happens in the North. We care deeply about the northern economy, Mr. Speaker, and that is why, from the outset, we said that that was a concern in this instance. But the fact is that this is a modest increase. This is the aviation fuel tax has not increased since 1992. And if you look at other jurisdictions, if you look at London, London Heathrow, their aviation fuel tax is 69.6 cents per litre. Ours is 2.7 cents per litre, Mr. Speaker. We are making a fiscally sound decision.
Hear, hear.
Final supplementary.
Mr. Speaker, we're not only concerned about small airports in the north, we're concerned about airports in central and southern Ontario also, right from London to Collingwood to Owen Sound to Barrie to Buttonville, you name it. You know, you said in your budget you weren't going to increase taxes on the middle class. I guess you think just rich people and business people fly. The fact of the matter is more middle-class average families fly every year. And you're hitting the middle class with this tax increase. People fly to visit their children at university. Kids fly home. They fly to visit a sick parent overseas. They fly to reconnect with family members. That's the vast majority of people. They fly to go on a well-deserved vacation. That's the vast majority of flying. You're hurting the middle class. You failed to consider the impact of this tax increase on the middle class. So will you defer
Minister of Economic Development, come to order.
The aviation fuel tax increase until a full study of its economic impact has been undertaken?
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, again, it's very interesting that this reaction is coming from the party opposite, when really it's federal taxes and fees, Mr. Speaker, that actually increase the cost the most, Mr. Speaker. This modest increase that we are putting forward in our budget will have a minimal impact on travelers, Mr. Speaker, and that's up to the organizations to make a decision on how they pass that along. The fact is that the analysis that we have seen shows that there will be very little impact on airlines and on passengers, but we've also said that the small and northern airports need special consideration, Mr. Speaker. But we also know that the transportation and transit infrastructure that we are going to build, Mr. Speaker, as a result of our plan, and this is part of our plan, that actually will help the airline industry, Mr. Speaker. That will actually help our airports. That infrastructure is well needed across the province.
New question?